Hello and welcome to McIver's Grant Public Library's Once Upon a Story Time. What? Once upon a story time? I thought summer reading was over. Well, no. It's officially over, but we're still going to do Once Upon a Story Time until school starts. And we also are going to have some missions open on our READsquared site until school starts. So what we're going to do today is read a book about a knight in shining armor. And then I'm going to show you some of the crafts that we've got for our Knight in Shining Armor mission. And you can come and you can complete those crafts and become a Knight in Shining Armor all yourself. Wouldn't that be wonderful? This book is called Get Well, Good Knight. And one of the activities on our Knight in Shining Armor mission is the first book in this series. There's a video story time on there that you can listen to, and then you can just check it off and get a point towards your badge. And it's called Good Night, Good Night. But this one's called Get Well, Good Knight. It's the same knight and the same dragons and the same horse. And it's written by Shelley Thomas, who wrote the first book. She's the author. She wrote the words. And Jennifer Plecas drew the pictures, so she's the illustrator. It was published by Dutton's Children's Books in New York. Once there were 3 little dragons. They lived in a dark cave. The cave was in a dense forest. The forest was in a faraway kingdom. The poor little dragons were not feeling well. They were in their beds in the deep, dark cave. See the dragons in the deep, dark cave? In the kingdom, there was a good knight. Every night he kept watch from his tower, and every day he rode in the forest. One day he was out riding. "Methinks I heard a sneeze," said the good knight. He galloped through the forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He came to the deep, dark cave. There he is keeping watch at night. There he is riding through the forest during the day. And there at the top is where he thinks he hears a sneeze. Inside he saw the little dragons in bed. "What is this?" asked the good knight. "Methinks my little dragon friends are not well." The good knight reached down. He felt the dragon's scaly little foreheads. Their heads were hot with fever. Their noses were drip, drip, dripping. Their teeth were chat, chat, chattering. Poor little dragons do not feel well. Sniffle, sniffle, went the first dragon. Cough, cough, went the second dragon. Achoo, went the third dragon. "Fear not, good dragons. I will help you get well," said the good knight. He jumped on his horse. "Away!" he cried. There's the poor little dragons. They do not feel well, do they? And there goes the good knight trying to help them. He galloped through the forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He went to see the old wizard. "I have come for help," said the good knight. "How can I help you?" said the wizard, in a shaky, quaky voice. "My little dragon friends are not well," said the good knight. There he is traveling through the forest to the wizard's house. "I have just the thing," said the old wizard, and he got a big black pot. He put in fish scales, old snails, fingernails, and lizard tails. He stirred the soup round and round and round again. "Give this to your dragons," said the wizard. "It is scaly, snaily soup. This will make them well." "Thank you, I will," said the good knight. Oh, look at that. Would you want to try that soup? He galloped through the forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He came to the deep, dark cave. "Oh, good," said the dragons. "You have come." Look at the poor little dragons. "This will make you well," said the good knight. "I have some scaly, snaily soup for you." The dragons looked at the soup. It was dark. It was thick. It smelled awful. "Yuck," said the dragons. "This soup is too smelly. We will not eat this smelly soup." And they turned up their little green noses. Look at them turning up their little green noses. The good knight did not know what to do, but he was a good knight. "It can't be that bad," he said. "I will taste it myself." And he did. The good knight's face turned pale, and he spit it out. "Patooey! That was bad," said the good knight. Sniffle, sniffle, went the first dragon. Cough, cough, went the second dragon. Achoo, went the third dragon. Fear not, good dragons, I will help you get well, said the good knight. He jumped on his horse. Away, he cried. He rode through the forest, clippity-clop, and he went back to see the wizard. Back again, said the old wizard. How can I help you this time? That soup did not help, said the good knight. My little dragons are still sick. I have just the thing, said the old wizard. He got out his big black pot. He put in frog slime, old grime, a rusty dime, and a rotten lime. That does not sound any better, does it? He stirred the soup round and round and round again. Give this to your dragons, said the wizard. It is slimy, grimy soup. This will make them well. Thank you, I will, said the good knight. What do you think's going to happen now? He rode back through the forest, clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He came to the deep, dark cave. Oh, good, said the dragons, you have come. This will make you well, said the good knight. Try this slimy, grimy soup. The dragons looked at the soup. It was gooey. It was grimy. It looked slimy. Yuck, said the dragons. This soup is too slimy. We will not eat this slimy soup. And they turned up their little green noses. The good knight did not know what to do, but he was a good knight. It can't be that bad, said the good knight. I will taste it myself. Oh, my. You think it's going to taste good? And he did. The good knight's face turned green. He spit out the soup. Patooey! That was really bad, said this good knight. Sniffle, sniffle, went the first dragon. Cough, cough, went the second dragon. Achoo, said the third dragon. Fear not, good dragon, said the good knight. I will help get you well. The good knight jumped on his horse. Away, he cried. He rode through the forest, clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He did not go see the old wizard. He went to see his mother. Good day, good mother, said the good knight. My little dragon friends are not well. Can you help me? You are a good knight, said the mother. You have come to the right place. I know just the thing. But that is what the old wizard said the good knight. Mothers know best, said the good knight's mother. She got out a pot. She put lots of good things in it. A little of this and a little of that. She stirred, she tasted. She said. Give this to your dragons. This will make them well. Thank you, good mother. I will, said the good knight. The good knight rode back through the forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He came to the deep, dark cave. Oh, good, said the dragons. You have come. This will make you well, said the good knight. I have chicken soup for you. You think they'll eat the chicken soup? Is it smelly? Said the dragons. No, said the good knight. Is it slimy? Asked the dragons. No, said the good knight. The little dragons looked at the soup. It looked yummy. It smelled yummy. They held out their bowls. They tasted it. It was yummy. Yum, said the dragons, and they slurped their soup. Slurp, slurp. And they slurped until every drop was gone. My head is not hot, said the first dragon. My nose is not dripping, said the second dragon. My teeth are not chattering, said the third dragon. They look like they feel better, don't they? We are well, cried all three dragons. Thank you, good night. Hachoo, said the good night. Do you think the dragons will help the good night feel better now that they feel better and he helped them? Do you think that they'll give him the wizard soup, or if they'll go right to Mama? What do you think? Which would you do? I like that book. Like I said, the first one's called Good Night, and it is available on READsquared. If you go to the library website and go to the summer reading page, you can scroll about halfway down, and there'll be a READsquared emblem, and then underneath it, it'll say Start Your Missions Here. And you can click that, and you'll get right onto READsquared, look up Knight in Shining Armor Challenge, and we've got another video you can watch that's another book. Okay, so some of our, we have several Knight in Shining Armor crafts that are here in the activity kits in the lobby of McIver's Grant. I don't know why I said first. McIver's Grant Public Library. You can also get them through the curbside service. So these two crafts kind of go together. That's why I picked these two. This one, you get to make your own crest. A family crest tells about the family that wears it. So your crest will tell about you. You'll put on there some of the things that are important to you, things you strive to do, things you already love to do, things that quotes and sayings and code of honor things that are important to you. Okay, so when you get yours made, let me show you what it looks like. This is the blank one. That's what that will look like. Once you get it drawn, see it says draw a picture of your family, draw a picture of one of your goals. When you get that done, you can put that right on your new shield. You'll have a knight shield. You can, there's glue and aluminum foil in this packet so that you can put that on your shield and your sword. There's also, in our activity kits, we've got a helmet that you can make. We've got another Knight in Shining Armor that you can make that makes it look like a stained glass window. There's one you can make out of aluminum foil. There's a code of honor that you can do that'll be on a scroll. It's wonderful. So you can do all that, and then you can be a McIver's Grant Knight. Won't that be wonderful? That'll be so great. And like I said, we will be continuing our Once Upon a Story Time until school starts, and then we'll just do story time like we do every Tuesday. And we'll be telling you a little bit more about these missions with the books that we read during our Once Upon a Story Time. So until I see you again, keep living happily ever after. Bye.